Greetings everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed here, and we're turned back to Fatal 12. Our dear beloved friend Naomi has returned to our grace. Not like we deserve it, but still, our character, our friend is back, and we're going to continue on with the story with 6 surviving characters. And 6 of them have been eliminated, unfortunately. But, you know the course of the game, let's get into this. Well, just you and me again today. Mao and I got to the rooftop during lunchtime. My dream woke up pretty early today, so I had enough time to make my own lunch. Meanwhile, Mao is eating a fruit sandwich, a pan and strawberry milk to wash it all down. I feel my heart clog just looking at that lineup. My sweet tooth's been itching today. So she says before she starts to munch away. Miharu didn't come to school today. I was a bit worried at first, considering this happened right after we had our little fight. But she did message me, telling me not to worry. Granted, telling me that without explaining the situation is going to make me do the opposite. I know it's best if I stay put though. The last thing I want is to mess things up for her while she's dealing with Scale and Frederico. I'll make plans to hit the library with Naomi after school. I wasn't solid on the idea when I first asked her, but I figure our school's old enough to have some potentially worthwhile information hidden somewhere. Of course, I've still got to work at Lionhouse as well, so the plan is to grab a number of books related to design and such and borrow them. There you go, being all pensive again. Oops. Sorry about that. I get started on my own lunch after Mao snaps back me to reality. I'm not accustomed to making my own lunch, but it's pretty good, all things considered. Spending time like this, eating and chatting with Mao, helps me realise I haven't lost my regular life yet. Hey Winnie. Mao cuts off the small talk of all of a sudden. Her tone grows far more reserved than usual. We're in the middle of half-heartedly discussing a shoujo manga, but I make sure to give her my full attention now. She's caught wind that something is up. I'm not sure what you 3 are up to, and I ain't really concerned since you're still hanging out with me. But the thing is, I can tell you've all been acting weird ever since the end of Golden Week. And our plans to hit up karaoke, go bowling, or maybe even go to the movies or aquarium, they all kind of went poof. When did we agree to... Oh, goodness sakes, window. When did we agree to bowling in the aquarium? Oh, just thinking ahead. Maybe always good to have a bunch of things you want to do. Mao hesitates before she continues. You know what? Forget about it. Kinda lost what my point was going to be anyway. Yeah. Okay. Both of us nod in agreement. We see each other a good amount already. Anyway, following that we return to our small talk. The discussion continues even after the bell rings and we make our way back to class. What is today's program for schedule? The park again. Having taken the day off from school, Miharu finds herself in one of Senjuku's expansive parks. It is a park near Lionhouse, a park dear to Rinka. Rinka isn't the one with her though. So here we are. Sure doesn't feel like no final destination. When she realized it refers to this place. Yeah, if there's not many of them, then you can trace this location quite easily then. Ain't no way I just up and realised it. Had to do some research. Although it didn't take much, clock towers like that one ain't too common in this country.
さすがの君も勘だけで見知らぬ土地を当てられるわけはないね。くせ、おかしな質問をしてしまったよ。
Sorry, maybe that was a silly question. Even you would struggle to connect the dots in a foreign country based on intuition alone. That's quite a nice scene we got there. Thumbnail wise, obviously. Both Miharu and Odette set their eyes on the clock tower in the distance as they talk. Neither bothers to sit down. The situation would come as no surprise to those who know Odette well enough. Miharu was making her way to school as always when Odette showed up all of a sudden. All that followed was a simple request for Miharu to come with her before dragging her along by force. While that made it obvious that she must have treated Frederico, Miharu still finds herself on edge. Her own wariness would prove meaningless though. Odette just wants to visit an art gallery. Miharu figured that denying her proposition would require too much effort, so she opted to join her. They didn't go for the standard displays however. Their sights were set on the seasonal art expedition. It's focused on easily one of the most famed artists of all time, Van Gogh. Miharu isn't too familiar with the arts. She subscribes to the belief that expanding one's knowledge should take precedence over enjoying others' creations. This school of thought clearly doesn't apply to Odette. There was a look of nostalgia in her eyes when she was taking in his works. It was a complete contrast to her hearty self. While born in Holland, Van Gogh spent most of his days in France. Many of his paintings used France as their motive too. Miharu was convinced that the look in Odette's eyes was fueled solely by memories of her homeland though. Odette eventually stopped in front of a painting of a farm village, titled The Harvest. She spent over 30 minutes staring at it. It was almost as she had lost herself in the painting. Miharu made no attempt to speak to her during that time. She had every opportunity to leave, but she never took it. She never was able to figure out what Odette was thinking. However, that moment made Odette feel truly human to her. It was the same sensation as when she learned of the compassion she showed to Sonia. Bet you weren't expecting to see me like that.
そうだね。君の知識が幅広いことは知っていたけれど、芸術はもっと斜に構えて見るのかと思っていた。でも、君はまるで子供のような目をしていたね。
Hey Miharu, I'm liking the wording that you're choosing. No kidding, the extent of your knowledge is no secret by this point, but I figured you're the type to snubby arts. Who knew you'd stare at paintings with the look of an entranced child? Damn right I am. Ain't no one gonna focus on the present in the face of true art. Odette casts her eyes to the sky as she speaks. A gentle breeze floats past us, bringing with it a murder of crows. Odette's choice of words leads Miharu to a certain idea.
君は自分の未練が僕たちに知られそうになっていることに気づいているね。
You must be aware that You must be aware that we're closing in on your regrets, right? Don't tell me you called me out because of that.
ああ、そうさ。私の未練が割れそうになっていることはもう分かってる。フェデリーコのやつもそろそろ死因に思い当たってるだろう。
Yep, hit the nail on the head, kid. Chances are Frederico's gonna figure out my cause of death soon too.
そこで一番話しやすそうな僕ということかい？交渉。それは君らしくない。
So you came to me because I'm the easiest to discuss things with? Wait, negotiation isn't a tactic you'd use. Miharu fires a glare at Odette. She's on high alert now. At the same time, her alarm serves to trigger her nerves.
いや、てめえをどうこうするつもりはねえよ。
Relax. I ain't planning on doing anything to you.
私にとっちゃ、女神の選定なんてのは所詮ゲームだ。勝ったら生きる、負けたら死ぬ。
Divine selection is just a big game to me. In the end, if I win, I live. If I lose, I kick the bucket. That's something that you keep referring to, and I quite like it actually.
もう罪だってんなら、 せめてそれまで楽しめればそれでいいさ。
If the road's coming to an end, then all I gotta do is enjoy it till then.
君が脱落させた人はそんなつもりではなかったと思う。ソフィアも。いや、そんなことを言う資格は僕にはないね。
Again, I'm liking the angle you're coming on, Miharu. I'm fairly sure the people you eliminated never saw it in that way. Sophia in particular. Then again, I don't have much of a right to say that myself. Miharu trails off, shaking her head. Odette and Frederico may have been the ones who led Sophia to her elimination, but it was Miharu who ultimately carried it out. Her reasoning, however important it may be to her, will never change that fact.
君は生きたくないのかい？
Don't you want to live?
そんなわけねえだろ。楽しいことは多い方がいいに決まってる。
Sure as hell do. The more exciting stuff there is left to do, the better.
だがよ、私の未練は決して叶うもんじゃねえ。だったら死んだって別に構わない。私にとっちゃもう人生ですらゲームみたいなもんだ。
Here's the thing. My regret ain't something I'll be able to achieve, so I ain't got no issue with dying. Life itself's been something of a game for me anyway.
どんなにレベルを上げても現実じゃ何も変えられねえからな。
In fact, you can't change that, no matter how much you level up.
ならやはり僕の抱えていた違和感は正しかったということだね。
So my feeling that something was off proved correct.
君の体は
Your body is...
もったいぶるつもりもねえ。メイドの土産なんてわけでもねえが。
Don't
話し
talk.
てやるよ。
Don't worry, I'll talk. Consider it a freebie.
私の生まれはゴッホの収穫のような風景が続く時代遅れの田舎だったのさ。
The place I was born resembles the village in Van Gogh's The Harvest. It was a big old countryside, stuck way in the past. Wow. Okay. Odette shares the story of her past with Miharu. She looks a lot less bulkier in this scene as well. Miharu takes it all in. There is no hint of sentimentalism as Odette reveals both her past and regret. In fact, it sounds the same as if she was telling an inconsequential story. Miharu finds herself unable to say anything for a while even after Odette finishes. There is no easy way to sum up what she's just heard. As a fellow woman, harsh doesn't even begin to describe it.
これじゃあリンカのことをバカとは言えないな。
I think I've lost the right to berate Rinka now. The first thing to emerge is criticism towards herself. Odette lets a hearty laugh when she hears out.
同情してくれてんのかい？
Feeling sympathetic, are we?
ただ、君にかける言葉を持たないだけさ。
No, I just don't quite know what to say to you. Odette's complete lack of emotion towards her own past strikes fear in the heart of Miharu. She shows no sign of either sadness nor anger. Odette's a broken soul. That's how Miharu feels. The reality that her regret would elude her for her entire life likely took its toll on Odette for over a long period of time.
なぜ僕に君の話を？
Why did you share this with me?
てめえは強さの意味を履き違えちゃいないからだ。
Because you've got the right idea about what it takes to be strong.
意味がわからないよ。
I'm not quite sure what you mean. Miharu gives up trying to follow Odette. The concept of enjoying oneself holds more meaning than it is imaginable. Miharu understands that much. She gets the hidden meaning behind doing what one can to enjoy the present. That's why she can't figure Odette out.
スケールは次の選定でてめえを指名する。
Just so you know, you're gonna be Scale's target during the next election.
やつはてめえとリンカが仲違いしてないことなんざ。おそらく気づいているだろう。
I
そ
reckon
の
he,
上で泳がせていたってわけだ。
I reckon he knows you and Rinka are still buddy-buddy, but he's letting you off the hook for now.
8度目の選定じゃ、フェデリーコが私を指名、スケールがてめえを指名で2人の脱落。てめえからアランの死因のカードを取得すれば、スケールの目的は達成される。
The 8th round will probably involve Frederico electing me and Scale electing you. He'll be able to achieve his goal by getting Alan's cause of death card from you after that.
ま、用済みってわけだね。
He's basically already done with you. Excuse me? Miharu fails to hide her surprise at Odette's sudden claim. Not only the idea that Scale is done with her though.
彼が僕の未練のカードを持っているのは知っている。けれども、いつの間に僕の死因まで。
I know he's in possession of my regret card already, but when did he get a hold of my cause of death?
抜け目ないことがあだになったってことだ。てめえが手首を隠し続けていること。
That
それ
kind,
自体が答えだろ。
that kind of yours backfired. The fact that you always kept those wrists of yours hidden answers your own question, I'd say.
そんな。
No way. Miharu rubs her wrists on the reflex. Whenever Miharu wore long sleeves, they seemed to be intentionally longer than usual, and when with short sleeves, she wore gloves. And that she does so to keep her wrists concealed, even when stretching out her arms. In case one might be able to get a peek, she would use her bag, card book, and even her other hand to keep them concealed.
てめえは所詮思春期のガキだ。手首に傷を作るなんて珍しくはないだろう。そこから連想したことと身辺調査で死因を見つけるなんてのは難しいことじゃねえ。
Take that plus a quick background check and it's easy enough to figure out your cause of death.
スケールのようなやつにはことさら。
Even more so for a guy like Scale.
なんとか喫茶だっけか。てめえがアルバイトしている場所の制服では、手袋の着用が認められている。
They let
こ
you
れは
wear,
飲食店としちゃ稀だ。
they let you wear long gloves at that whatever cafe you where you work, don't they? That's pretty rare for restaurants.
あいつはそれを確かめるためにも、てめえのアルバイト先まで顔を出したんじゃねえのか。
He even took the time to pay you a visit there to confirm his suspicions.
全部お見通しってわけか。
It's a bit frightening just how much you know.
私の些細な判断から未練までたどり着いたやつが何を言ってやがる。
Ain't gonna take that from a girl who'd figured out my regret from a minor discussion I made.
しかし、やはり不可解だ。どうしてスケールに狙われていることを教えてくれたんだい？君の脱落の原因となる僕も、脱落した方が君は楽しいのではないかな。
I don't get it. Why tell me all of this? I assumed you've had some fun in knowing the person responsible for your elimination would get a taste of their own medicine.
何言ってる。私はな、てめえに自分の弱さを見抜かれて気持ちいいくらいに感じている。
Come on. Just watching you realize that others have seen through your weakness does the trick for me.
スケールは人の弱みに敏感だ。だからこそ情報収集もできてるわけだが、てめえは似ているようで違う。
Scale's keen when it comes to other people's weaknesses, which is why he's so good at gathering intel. You're kind of similar to him, but fundamentally different.
私は好きだぜ。てめえの
Aww.
恋愛的な意味でな。
Let me say this loud and clear. I love you, kid. I mean that romantically.
てめえは人の弱さに敏感だった。そこに惚れちまったってわけよ。もっとも4度目の選定で出し抜かれた時から気になってはいたんだ。
That ability of yours to zoom in on the weak side of others makes me fall for you. Granted, I've been interested ever since you beat me to the punch during the 4th round.
そんな相手に生き残ってもらいたいってのはてめえもよくわかる感情だろ。
Doubt I need to explain why I'd want someone to live, well, like that to live now, do I?
いきなり何を言い出すんだい？冗談はやめてくれないか？
Where did that come from? I'd much rather you not toy with me. Miharu loses her compassion due to Odette's sudden confession. She pouts a tad, averting her eyes from Odette, who continues after that.
冗談じゃねえさ。てめえも私も弱いんだ。弱い奴らは惹かれ合うんだよ。
I ain't joking. Me and you? We're both weak. Weak people are always going to attract one another.
それに私はどっちもいける口だぜ。顔も体も好みな部類だ。その点じゃ フェデリーコとは気が合うかもしれねえな。
Besides, I swing both ways, so long as the face and body do the job. I'm down. Guess you could say me and Frederico are similar in that regard.
ダメだよ。仮に君が本気で言っていたとしても受け入れられないさ。
I'm
僕
sorry,
が愛するのはリンカだけだからね。
but I can't accept your feelings, assuming you're actually serious. Rinka's the only one my heart has room for.
その片思いってのも弱い証拠だよな。言っておくがよ、多分あの女にその気はないぜ。
One-sided love's just another sign of being weak, eh? Though I gotta tell ya, that girl probably ain't into what you're looking for.
やめてくれ。そういうんじゃないんだ。
Oh please, I'm not looking for anything.
分かってるよ。
I know. Odette follows her sarcasm up with a serious expression. The sudden switch frightens Miharu a bit, but she takes every effort to show her own fortitude in the face of it.
好きになった奴がいるなら、そいつを悲しませるな。
Don't make the girl you love sad.
わかるな。
You get what I mean, don't you?
痛いほど。
Painfully so. Miharu nods while answering. She made the decision to offer her life for Rinka's sake. Yet she knows that decision will not result in Rinka's happiness.
しかし、このままフェデリーコに指名されるのも面白くね。振られちまった借りを返してもらうためにも、一つ協力してもらうぜ。
Just letting that Frederico guy elect me ain't no fun, though. Wanna help out a little in exchange for turning me down so fast? Odette explains her plan without waiting for a response. While the idea takes Miharu by surprise, she nods in agreement.
それでこそだ。てめえにだからこそ頼めるってもんだ。
As a girl, I knew I could count on you.
あ
Of course you can.
さてと、てめえは最後まで地獄に来るんじゃねえぞ。
Alright, I better not see you in hell, you hear me?
当然さ。地獄でも天国でもない。
Don't worry, the only place I'll end up is Rinka's side.
焼けるね。じゃあ、あばよ。
Making me all jealous over here. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. Adieu. Leaving Miharu with those final words, Odette walks off. Miharu collapses onto a nearby bench in an effort to calm herself down. Once she settles down, she remains there until sunset. Odette's comments about weakness leaves her deep in thought. Rooftop again. The day after, once school has ended, Miharu calls Naomi to the rooftop. They face one another under a cloudy sky, for which it seems rain will pour any minute. Not only is it rare for Miharu to call on Naomi, but Naomi also has nothing but bad memories of speaking to Miharu alone. Do you need something from me? Naomi poses her question to Miharu, who remains silent.
まだ遊園地に行く前。君とライオン館の前で話した時のことは覚えているよ。
I remember what I said to you.
羊さん。
I
君
remember.
が僕を避けていることは仕方がないと思っている。
I remember what I said to you before we all went to the theme park outside of Lionhouse. That's why I can't blame you for actively avoiding me.
避けているとなんて。ごめんなさい。私、三島先輩のことを。
I wasn't.
確かに。
I wasn't trying to. No, that's not true. I was avoiding you. What was said? The event Miharu refers to took place on May the 5th, the day following the juncture of causality. The day all 12 participants' deaths were undone. Miharu made her way to Linehouse in order to see Rinka. Doing so would allow her to reaffirm that she is truly alive, while also giving her the opportunity to remind Rinka about going to the theme park. Miharu had prepared herself to delve into the details of divine selection once they had gone. Not long after leaving Linehouse, she came across Naomi.
三島先輩。
Oh, hello. Naomi spoke to Miharu without thinking twice. Miharu, on the other hand, remained silent after turning to face her.
君はリンカのことが
Tell
好き
me,
なのかい？
do you like Rinka?
リンカ先輩のことは尊敬してますし、先輩としてすごく好きですけど。
Well, I really look up to her and think she's a great upperclassman, but
その程度なら僕からリンカを奪うのはやめてほしい。
wow. If that's all, if so, then please stop trying to steal her away from me. Steal her away?
僕はリンカが好きだ。友人としてではなく、一
Gosh.
個人として。
Okay. Miharu promptly took her leave following that exchange. Naomi would end up making her way into a line house afterwards, full of nothing but frustration.
でも今なら三島先輩の気持ちもわかりますから、怒ったりはしていません。あの時は女神の選定の参加者になってしまった直後だったんですもんね。
I understand why you acted like that now, though. You had already become a participant in divine selection, hadn't you? I can't get upset knowing that.
君に理解されるほど僕の思いは浅くない。
My feelings aren't shallow enough that you can understand them. Miharu puts a wall between herself and Naomi as the latter attempts to get closer. She quickly realizes her too, covering her mouth with her hands as a sign of remorse.
僕は君が嫌いだ。君の人格はこの際どうでもいいけれど、君は確実にリンカが僕と過ごす時間を奪っていったから。
It's no secret that I don't like you. Your personality aside, you kept taking time I could spend with Rinka from me. Okay. Maharu's words are as blunt as they come. Naomi can only direct her gaze toward the floor. Not simply by virtue of Miharu being her senior, this is the first time anyone has outright stated its disdain for her.
高校生活が始まってからの1年間は、リンカと僕とマオとの3人で過ごすものだった。マオは僕がリンカを好きなことを分かっていたから、一歩引いてくれることが多かったんだ。
It was just me, Rinka and Mao during our first year. Mao knew I was in love with Rinka too, so she made sure to give us some space whenever possible.
けれど、君は突然に僕の前に現れた。後輩という立場を利用して、庇護欲をかきたてて、
Then
リンカ
you
の興味を
appeared.
引いた。
You used your position as Rinka's upper underclassman and that insolent personality of yours to draw her attention.
そんなこと
That's not true at all.
思っていないです。
君は僕の恋心を知っていた。けれども、僕に気を使うことはなく、天津さえ女神の選定を利用して、さらに距離を縮めた。
You knew my feelings for her, but you couldn't care less. In fact, you even used divine selection as a means to get even closer to her.
違います。私だって三島先輩の気持ちを分かっていたから。
I tried to keep my distance precisely because I knew your feelings.
みんなでって言ってくれ。
But Rinka kept insisting that I join.
君は僕を差し置いて、リンカにとって大切なものになっていたんだ。
You became someone truly important to her, though. I was left by the wayside. Naomi finds herself asking why she has to put up with this. Even so, she isn't the type to grow angry and argue back. All she could do is attempt to make Miharu realize she is misunderstanding things.
三島先輩はそれを言うために私は屋上へ呼んだんですか？
Is that the reason you called me up
私
here?
にどうして欲しいんですか？
If so, what do you expect me to do? The clouds looming overhead cast their shadows down, thicker and darker than before. The humidity in the air is almost crushing.
構わないさ。そのままでいればいい。
I don't want you to do anything. Just stay the way you are.
でも私がいることで三島先輩に嫌な思いをさせてし
But
ま
I'd
ってい
rather
る
do
なら
but I'd rather do something if my presence is upsetting
でき
you.
る限り改善しますから。
僕は君以上に自分のことが嫌いだ。この嫉妬深い性格も嫌味な性格もね。
The thing about my dislike for you is that it's only outmatched by my dislike for myself. I'm far too jealous and nasty. So you're a yandere then.
醜い心が自分の親と似ていると自覚するたび、僕という存在が 親からもたらされたものであることを思い知らされて無性に死にたくなるんだ。
I'm not reading that out loud, for goodness sakes. Miharu speaks coldly, taking off a glove on her left hand and shows her wrist to Naomi. A number of scars are visible. None seem recent, but the implication is clear.
僕の死因はこういうことさ。本来なら自ら選んだ道、生きようとする資格は僕にはないはずなんだ。
This should make my cause of death obvious. It was no accident that I died. I chose that path for myself, and thus I shouldn't have the right to live. Miharu. She then immediately puts her glove back on. All that follows is a self-pitying smile towards Naomi.
こんな僕でも死んだらリンカを悲しませてしまう。それは僕にとって許されることではないんだ。
I may be a terrible person, but my death would only upset Rinka. I cannot allow that.
私はやっぱり三島先輩のことが苦手です。でも
I'm never too comfortable around you, and I doubt that will change, but even so...
もし死んでしまったら悲しいです。想像するのも恐ろしいくらい。
I'll be sad if...
先輩だって悲しむに決まっているじゃないですか。
I'll be sad if you died too. Just the idea of that happening scares me. I doubt I even need to say how sad Maru would be.
誰に狙われているんですか？
So tell me, who is targeting you? Naomi question takes Miharu by surprise. However, it helps put everything into perspective. It is doubtless that Naomi has spent every passing minute thinking about divine selection, all for Rinka's sake. This is precisely why Naomi could zoom in and on what Miharu wants to get across with this conversation.
リンカ先輩に直接言ったらきっと何をしてでも三島先輩のことを守ろうとするから私に伝えたんですね。
You told me all this because you know Rinka will do everything she can to protect you, didn't you?
スケール・ジョーンズ、9番の男性さ。
It's numerical 9.
使命と信用を持っている。
Scale Jones. I know both his name and his cause of death. Miharu gives Naomi a brief rundown of what Odette told her. Naomi listens fervently, showing no concern over the fact that Miharu has just made her dislike for her clear. It is obvious what she wants. Miharu will search for her own name, on her own as much as possible, but she also wants Naomi's assistance.
未練ならなんとかなるかもしれません。9番未練のカードはリンカ先輩がすでに持っていました。
Things might work out better than you think. Rinka already has numerical 9's regret card in her possession.
本当かい？
Really?
はい。カードに書かれていたのは金メダル。でもカードの情報を知っただけでは三島先輩のところにカードが作られない。
Really? It says gold medal, but a card won't materialize just by hearing that, right?
そうだね。けれどそれだけわかれば
It's as you
きっと大丈
say.
夫さ。
Don't worry
僕は
though.
スケール本人とも会っている。
I've met him personally, so knowing that should be enough. The clouds begin to part and the blue sky brightens the land once more. Miharu's face is lit up by the rays of sunlight.
ありがとう、羊さん。
Thank you,
君は
Naomi.
本当に強いね。
You're far stronger than most would give you credit for. That said, Miharu makes her way inside. Naomi's surprise over the turn of events leaves her unable to follow suit for a moment. Yes. Scale still hasn't called us over for today's meeting. I couldn't settle down though, so here I am drinking away at Milk Crown. Some Japanese whiskey's my choice for today, of drink for today. The name is one simple kanji. I can read it thanks to having my card book on me, but I forget the name itself thanks to not being too familiar with it. Which reminds me, haven't touched wine for quite a while. I was always with Odette whenever I had it, so it's probably bringing back memories from of her now. And I gotta be honest, I don't mind drinking and arguing over stuff with her. Still, I'm the one who betrayed her.
今更になって罪悪感。バカらしい。
What kind of dumbass gives themselves a guilt trip about it at this point? I don't got time for that. I want to live. What I did was the right choice to make that happen. I already have her cause of death, it's just a matter of time before I get her regret too. If this ain't things going smoothly, then I don't know what it is. All I gotta do is take care of that person, Alan, afterwards. No one can touch me now that I've partnered up with Scale.
ならよ、スケールはどうやって倒す？ちゃんと先のことまで考えてんのか、てめえ。
Yeah, I was thinking, man. You can rely on Scale, but at the same time, he'll one day turn on you. So how did you plan to deal with Scale, dumbass? Or did you not think that far ahead? What? But Odette is nowhere to be seen. I tutted myself again. I might be drunk, but that's no excuse to let myself hear things. That's something she'd say, though, no doubt. Odette was there when I partnered up with Scale. I figured I'd be able to handle him myself afterwards. Yet here we are, and all I have is his name.
だが、俺の死因も未練もあいつは知らねえだろ。
He doesn't got a clue about my cause of death or regret, though. Chances are Odette knows about the former by now. Would only make sense, considering I know hers. I'm the one who's gonna elect her, though, so there's no risk of him obtaining any of my cards.
それどころか、オーデットならスケールの情報も掴んでるかもしれねえな。
In fact,
しそうなら、
Odette
ラッキーだ。
Odette may already know his information, that'd be good. Thinking that, I order another whiskey on the rocks.
そいつは取り消しだ。代わりに私が注文するさ。
A familiar voice. Nah, he ain't having that. Let me order for him instead.
だ？あ？
And just who the hell do you... Odette?
一人で飲む酒はうまいかい？
What's it like drinking on your own, punk? Odette plants herself on the seat beside me before ordering a bottle of some French red wine. I can't help but stare as the deep red liquid cascades into the glass. Its lustrous colour almost puts me in a daze. I gotta say, while Italy might have the best food and wine, France is a close second. That fact never changed, not even after backstabbing Odette.
まずは世間話でもしようや。
Let's kick this meeting off with some small talk, alright?
あんたと話すことなんてねえんだけどよ。
Bit hard when I don't got anything to say to you in the first place. So I say, yet we end up talking about all sorts of stuff like enjoying our wine. We'd been working together for over a month. I got accustomed to chatting away with her. Kinda hard to drop that habit cold turkey.
お前さ、私のこと好きだったろ。
You had a theme for me, didn't ya? Odette brings an odd topic out of nowhere, right around the time we finish our first bottle. Sure sounds like something a kid in school would say. I ain't no kid though. That won't be easy to throw me off.
バカ言え。てめえといたら自由なんざなくなっちまう。
Really? Don't flatter yourself. Ain't no freedom with a woman like you.
そうか。
Ah,
てめえ、まるで尻に敷かれ慣れているみたいだったがよ。
really? To me, it seems like you'd gotten used to being on my leash.
まるで昔似たような相手といた経験があるよ。
Almost like you'd been in a similar relationship once before.
それこそバカなことだ。あいつとあんたは似ても似つか
Ah, you just dug out some of your own info, Frederico. Now you're just talking crazy. You and her ain't nothing. I cut myself up before glaring at her. The flickering lights in here are starting to pee me off.
鎌かけやがったな。
You set me up, didn't you?
じゃあな。お題はこいつにつけておいてくれ。
You're alright, Odette. You may be brash and very, very violent, but you're an okay girl. See you later. Put the bill on this tab for me. Odette wastes no time in leaving the bar. I feel my entire body shaking, wine glass in hand. She did it. The shock of what just happened sobers me right up. Now I see why she came here in the first place.
の過去を調べやがった。つまり。
She's dug up my past,
伝えに来たんだ。
which means she's known about my regret. She came here just to tell me that? I slammed the money down on the table before throwing the bar door open and running out. You gonna try and catch up with her or something? I don't know. Ugh. Damn it! I can't hold my frustration in after I get back to my hotel. I kick the sofa over and chuck my pillows at the bed. I'm just letting all my anger spill out.
これはやべえ。
This ain't good at all.
スケールのやつ、ちゃんと情報の裏付けを見つけてるんだろうな。
That's the idea, Frederico.
やべえ。
I'd prefer if you were the one eliminated next, actually. Scale better have the info I need, otherwise I'm screwed.
情報を3つ揃えてれば、最低限指名の防御で。
I can fend her off so long as I've got all the info I need. I catch myself mid-panic.
じゃダメだろ。この野郎。
You know that won't be enough, damn it. And I ain't gonna go down without ever besting her. Assuming we end up electing each other, chances are we'll cause a standstill. The cards that we both hold will disappear as a result, mean we won't be able to carry out any elections in the future.
それじゃ一生あいつに怯え続けるだろうが。
Then I'll just be living in fear of her. Now I know what I need to do.
必ず脱落させなきゃならねえ。
I gotta eliminate her, no matter what. It's vital to me. If I can surpass Detti, then I can crush Scale as well. That's the conclusion I reach as I clean the room that I just trashed. Many friendships, many stuff. I spent the rest of yesterday reading through what I grabbed from the library after closing up shop for the day. This time around, we focused on material with information about old book designs, but nothing of note stood out. There wasn't anything too reminiscent of the design of our card books.
でもまだこれからだよね。
That's the spirit, Rinka. I'm just getting started though. I never expected to finish something right off the bat. With that in mind, I head over to the bathroom to wash my face. We're back at the bar, it would seem. Scale finally rounds us up 2 days after Odetti came by to chat. Miharu's with us too, but she's as cold as ever.
以上が俺の調査結果であり、オデットの未練を裏付けるための情報だ。
That's the gist of it. This should do well to back up our thoughts regarding Odetti's regret. Scale closes his explanation with a heavy tone. He told us about Odetti's past. Born on a family farm, her mother passed away not too long after her birth. No one knows for sure whether or not the despair of losing his wife drove her father insane. Regardless, it's a fact that Odetti suffered abuse by his hand. The abuse she received not long after resulted in a particularly drastic consequence. Her body became unable to sustain a child. That reality must have crushed Odetti. She left her father at the brink of death through the use of the tools on their farm before moving abroad. She made it a point to live by a port in order to erase her memories of farm life. There, she met a man in charge of a shipping company, which led to her spending most of her days at seas. There's too much barking outside, for goodness sakes. The man took quite an interest in her, similar to how she considered him akin to a parent. Her hearty personality and knack for the job quickly led her to being regarded as a fine member of his crew. None of the ship were aware that Odetti's recklessness was spurred on by a lack of attachment to her in life, though. Odetti's regret only grew as she aged, so she made an effort to work hard and enjoy the present as much as possible. Granted, all of that is just prerequisitable information regarding to learning her actual regret.
この父親というのがまだ生きてるね。話を聞くことができたそうだ。
Looks like her father's still alive. She even managed to speak to him directly, it seems.
もっとも娘の犯行がよっぽどトラウマになっているのか、彼は今精神病院で暮らしているようだけれどね。
Of course, the trauma from his own daughter's attack on him took its toll. Apparently he's in a mental hospital now. Miharu kept her head down the entire time Scale was talking. It must hit close to home considering they're both women.
出産。よし、カードが出た。間違いない。
Give him. Oh, yeah, that's the card. We got it.
あれだけ大口を叩いていた彼女にしては、くだらないだ。
It's a rather worthless regret for someone who mouths off as much as her. Scale mutters something to himself, but I can't quite catch it. More importantly, I finally got hold of all her cards. Just looking at this new one has me giddy. I've done it at last.
これで揃ったぜ。
I finally got all her cards. I try my best not to grin like an idiot. I don't give a damn about her past. That's not enough to change my view of her. I don't have a future to speak of if I can't surpass her.
これで
All that's left now is I can finally stand toe to toe with her. All that's left is to elect her. She might elect me back, but I can't let that possibility stop me.
しかしスケールさん、君の友人というのはすごいね。
That friend
た
of
った
yours
数
is
日でここまで情報を集めるなんて。
that friend of yours is quite something if they could gather that much information in just a few days.
それはどうも。俺の素性にもつながってきてしまうから詳細を教えられないのが残念。
Thank you. A shame I can't tell you too much about my own source, though. We'd be getting a bit too deep into my own identity. Miharu responds with a quiet nod. She looks pretty exhausted. Now that I take a proper look, talking about putting a pretty face to waste. That said, she's right. I don't know who this friend of Scale is, but they gather intel like a beast. That idea leads me to a thought. If this guy's got so many connections, then that means plenty of people know him. These two keep acting all calm and collected, but that ain't gonna last long. Once I surpass ODETTE, they're next. Why are we at school on a Saturday? Saturday rolls around without anything resembling progress for us. I do what I can to reach for truth about divine selection, but there's far too much information out there regarding design concepts and such. Doesn't help that I'm not too familiar with history in the first place. Part of me is ready to give up. I tried taking a picture of my card book and doing a reverse image such, but nothing worthwhile popped up. I'm honestly starting to feel like I'm at my limit, but I can't just throw in the towel. If I can't think of any other methods, then I should stick to this way for now.
リータン、ちゃんと寝てる？
You been getting enough sleep, Rinny?
一限と二限はちょっと寝てた。
I got some during the first two periods.
みたいな返事だね。
Now you're starting to sound like me. Keeping the store open has inevitably led me to losing sleep.
そうか。常連さんなら。
Oh, maybe one of the regulars knows. My thoughts become words before I even realize it. The regulars at Linehouse have all manners of jobs. Plenty of elderly people too, so one of them might know something. I know I don't have the luxury to stop now, which helps me keep my priorities in check.
ダメだこりゃ。
She's done for. Mao's exasperated voice helps me in much the same way.
あ
Is Miharu here?
あ、ナオリン。
Yay, yo, Naorin.
ミハルは今日は休みだよ。
Miharu took the day off. Miharu's absence has been growing more and more frequent. She can't afford to miss too many days due to her scholarship, but I'm sure she's aware of that without me having to point that out.
もう帰りだよね。どうだい？久々にライオン館に行くかい？
It's about time for us to head home. Wanna head out Lionhouse, Naorin? Been a while since we last did that.
マオが聞くの？まあいいけどさ。
I'm surprised you're the one inviting her. Not that I mind.
とっても嬉しいお誘いなんですけど、
Well,
今日はちょっと用事があるので。
while I appreciate the invite, I'm a bit too busy today, you see.
あいよ。じゃ、今日はうち一人で行くね。
Alright, got it. I guess I'll head over myself. Naomi offers an apologetic bow before leaving the classroom. Mao's coming to Linehouse though, so this will be the first time in a while that we both leave school at the same time. As for Naomi, she seems somewhat different today, especially considering how nervous she tends to be whenever she visits our classroom. Yeah, because of Miharu, likely. News of Miharu's absence is worrying Naomi. That is what prompts her to come here on her own.
三島先輩は
She has to be at work. Naomi heard about how much Miharu works from Rinka. That led her to assume that Miharu would have regular shifts scheduled, even in their situation.
お帰りなさいま。帰ってくれないか。
Welcome leave. Consequentially enough, Naomi comes across Miharu the moment she enters.
先輩。私、お話があるんです。
I have something I need to talk to you
あ
about.
と30分で終わるから席で待っていてくれないかい。
I'll be done in
これは
half
あ
an
まり
hour.
落ち着かないかもしれないけれどね。
So would you mind taking a seat? I can't guarantee you'll feel comfortable though.
はい。ありがとうございます。
Okay, I will. Thank you. Naomi takes a seat on her own. The male clientele direct their gaze toward her. Naomi fails to pick up on the jealousy felt by the others as they do. Okay. Roughly half an hour later, Miharu returns in her school uniform and plops down in front of Naomi. Time has flown by for Naomi because she's had her face buried in a book the whole time. Miharu isn't comfortable discussing things with Naomi at her workplace as opposed to somewhere like Lionhouse, but she also knows she has no real alternative. Naomi braves a few quick glances at the other customers, confirming that neither Scale nor Federico are present.
スケールさんの未練はまだカード化できていないんですよね。
Is it safe to assume that you haven't been able to materialize Scale's regret yet? Naomi gets straight to the point. It is plain to see how exhausted Miharu looks. The bags under her eyes and absent-minded gaze are enough to tell her that Miharu has been sacrificing sleep for the sake of research.
そうだね。金メダルという情報からして、スポーツ関連を重点的に調べているけれど、糸口がない。
If it's a detective-related work, then sports isn't probably the thing that you're looking for. Either business-related rewards. Being a detective, I'm not sure. You're right, I've been searching sports-related things in relation to a gold medal, but nothing worthwhile's come up.
このままでは、今回の選定で僕は脱落してしまう。そうなれば、僕の持っているリンカのカードがスケールに知られるリスクが高まる。
I'm going to get eliminated next at this rate. If that happens, it's entirely possible that Scale will get a hold of Rinka's card.
先輩にリンカ先輩に相談してみませんか、リンカ先輩はオデットさんやアランさんと協力していたんですし、力になってくれるかもしれません。
Shouldn't you ask Rinka about this? She may be able to help you, considering she formed an alliance with Odette and Alan before. Naomi has made sure not to tell Rinka about any of this until today. She understands that Miharu doesn't want Rinka worried about her. There's a limit to how far one can drag it out, though. Naomi knows that having that attitude is Naomi knows having that attitude is how one can lose what's precious to them. In her own case, it was her life that she lost, so she knows this better than anyone.
リンカ先輩なら何とかしてくれると思います。だって私のことも助けてくれたから。
Rinka should be able to do something. She was able to save my life even, after all.
それはダメだ。リンカに心配をかけるわけにもいかないし、リンカの情報が他の参加者に知られるデメリットが生まれるかもしれない。
I can't. Not just because I don't want her to worry, but because that could also lead to other participants getting their hands on her information. Miharu's immediate answer pains Naomi. She casts her head down, shaking it multiple times. She doesn't want her feelings to pour all out at once. She wants to explain things bit by bit. That's why she takes her time before looking back at Miharu.
そうじゃないです。
That's unimportant now.
リスクとかデメリットとか、そういうのはもういいです。
Rinka won't care about the
リンカ
risks.
先輩は三島先輩を助けるためなら
She'll do anything she can to help you.
って言います。私だって先輩が危険な目に遭うのは嫌です。でもそんなのお構いなしに失いたくないもののためどうにかしてくれるのがリンカ先輩です。
I don't want to see her throw herself into danger either, but she's the type of person who's willing to do whatever it takes for what's important to her regardless.
本当は私もリンカ先輩が頑張る姿を見ているのが辛いです。もっと力になれたらってずっと思っています。
Seeing her work so hard hurts me too. It makes me wish I could help out more myself.
でも三島先輩がいなくなって悲しんでいるリンカ先輩を見る方がきっともっと辛い
Flipping
です。
flipping this situation on its head.
耐えられないほど
Watching her suffer over losing you scares me even more. I won't be able to handle it. Naomi's words take Miharu back. They remind her of Rinka's despair over losing Naomi. Miharu opts to work with Scale to eliminate you precisely because she couldn't handle seeing Rinka like that. However, Rinka puts herself in a significant danger to eliminate you. That's why Miharu was resolute in not wanting to allow that to happen again. But that's not all. The relief she felt over Rinka's joy that Naomi was alive was undeniable. The foundation of Rinka's happiness had become clear to her.
それでも僕はリンカの命と自分の命を天秤にかけた時
Even so, if asked to balance my own life against hers, now Miharu's gaze is for one cast downward. It isn't often Naomi to see Miharu speak without confidence. That's why she puts every ounce of kindness she has into her next word.
何よりこのままじゃ私が嫌です。美晴先輩がいなくなっちゃったらこうして過ごした時間もなかったことになったら
Most importantly, I don't want things to continue like this. If you're eliminated, then all our time together would be undone as well.
そんなの
If that happens, then... She stops to take a deep breath before continuing.
泣いて枯れて果てて私が死んじゃいます。
What? I cry so much that I'll shrivel up and that.
シャレにもならないな
Oh, that'd be a shame. Miharu notices that Naomi's attitude towards her has changed, not to mention the fact that Naomi herself hasn't noticed. Miharu smiles and then nods her head.
もしかすれば君が一番変わったのかもしれないね
You
この
might...
後ライオン館へ行こう
The voice acting is so inconsistent when it comes to breaks. You might be the one who's changed the most out of all of us. Let's go to Lionhouse later then.
くす君の涙に興味はないけれど、リンカを悲しませるわけにはいかないからね
Your tears don't have much effect on me, but upsetting Rinka certainly isn't something I want to do. Thank you. Naomi offers her thanks to Miharu with a look of relief on her face. She finishes her previously ordered café à lutte before brushing the tears off her eyes. From her eyes. Jimmy barks in the background. They make their way together. Well, they make their way to Lionhouse together after that.
いない
No one's here. The lights are off too.
まだ閉店時間には早いのに
It's a bit early for her to have closed for the day. This feels suspicious to Naomi, who had overheard Rinka and Mao's conversation earlier in the day. Part of her begins to worry that something's happened. What kind of thing happened? This? I make my way over to the base we used to prevent user attacks the week prior. The desolate view and dry wind almost feels nostalgic, but to be more accurate, it's ODETTE who brought me here after showing up at Lionhouse out of nowhere. It was my choice to come, so I can't quite say I got dragged out of here.
よアーレン
Yo, Alan,
何の用だ
what do you want?
とか言ってもう分かってるんだろスケールの野郎が動かしてるパパラッチ仲間はてめえともコネクションがあるみたいだしよ
Oh, haven't you heard? A little birdie told me Scale's paparazzi friends have connections to you too. ODETTE told me very little on the way here.
私はもうすぐ脱落だだからよアランてめえと決着をつけに来た
I'm gonna get eliminated soon. Ain't no changing it, so I want to settle things with you right now. That's all she told me. Alan remains silent, displaying as little emotion as ever.
決着
Settle things?
ああそうさこいつとはジジイの家で一度戦ったきりどっちが強いのかまだ証明していなかったからな
So the purpose of Rinka being here is? That's right. We only got to fight for once at that old geezer's house, so I don't know which of us is stronger.
リンカてめえにはこの勝敗を見届けてもらう先におねんねした方が負けだま勝つのは私だけどな
Your role here is to observe the result, Rinka. The first one to throw in the towel loses, and it ain't gonna be me.
僕と戦う僕が貴様の挑戦を受けるとでも、何もメリットがないあの時は必要だったからそうしただけだ
What makes you think I would agree to this? I only fought you back then out of necessity.
理由なんていらねえよ一度きりの人生私たちにとっちゃその言葉は皮肉でしかないが楽しまなきゃ損だぜ
Who needs a reason? Technically, us lot can't spill that you only live once adage. But hey, enjoy this immortality while you can.
それにもし 背中を向けて逃げるってんなら、それはそれでてめえが再起不能になるだけだ。
Besides, ain't no chance you'll be able to bounce back if you run with your tail between your legs now.
最後なんだ。ちった付き合ってくれよ。
This is my last chance. So dance with me, kid. The cold tone through which Odette's words are delivered frightens me. I may know that she's easy to talk to now, but that cool-headed attitude of hers is still scary. Maybe this is the killing intent that gets mentioned in books and films. There's one thing nagging at me
オ
though.
デットさんが脱落？
You're going to be eliminated?
何を驚いてるんだ。
Why is that a surprise?
いや、だってそんな。
Well, I mean,
オデッ
it's
トさん
you,
が。
you know. There's no I wouldn't be surprised. Miharu has told me plenty about both Frederica and Scale, but I never thought they would be able to eliminate her. She may tread a thin line at all times, but I can't imagine her making a misstep. In fact, she's more likely to run full speed ahead, laughing all the
こ
while.
の女に同情しているのか。君らしいな。
Yet again, you feel compassion. How very like you.
そういうわけじゃないけど。
That's not quite it.
てめえもこいつには随分甘い口調だよな。
You're awfully kind towards her, you know. Yourself. I honestly find it hard to believe that she's going to be eliminated next based on her composure. She brought it up herself to say that this is her last chance, though. She must be fully prepared for what lies ahead. Odette is going to die. She's my enemy, I know that much, and yet I can't help but remember how we stopped you together and brought Naomi back.
私、スケールさんの未練を知って
I
る。
know Scale's regret.
だからなんだ。
Okay, so what?
私は助けてもらった。だからせめて。
You helped me once, so at the very least,
だからなんだってんだ。
you gonna make a point soon? Odette glares at me. Her tone is dark. That alone prevents me saying anything else.
私を侮辱するつもりだったら、てめえからやってやろうか。
I don't get no issue starting with you if you're gonna try and humiliate me.
そんなんじゃ。
That's not what I...
お人よしも大概にした方がいい。僕がいることを忘れているのか。
I recommend you drop the soft-hearted attitude. Don't you forget that I am here as well?
スケール・ジョーンズの未練は僕も欲しいカードだ。力ずくでも教えてもらおう。
Scale Jones' regret is information I seek. You're going to tell me it, whether it be by your own will or not.
そうかい。そこまでてめえは理由にこだわるってわけだ。
You really are determined to have a reason first, huh? I gradually come to understand what they are talking about. My own explanation has served as the spark Alan requires. He said he had no reason to fight Odette, but now he does.
守ってやるよ。クソガキ。
Guess I'll fight to protect you, brat.
目的があるならば僕はためらわない。
I know no hesitation once my goal is clear. Defeat Odette and get information regarding Numero 9's regret out of me. That's the goal he has set his sights on. I chose to observe their fight from outside the storehouse. They likely have guns on them, so it only makes sense to head outside before they start firing at one another. I might not die if I get caught in a crossfire, but I still get badly hurt. The walls should be thick enough to stop any stray bullets. I can't avert my eyes though. I'm determined to see their fight through. It's their way of settling things. Odette likely doesn't need a proper reason. She's considered Alan a worthy foe, and simply wants to beat him for her own satisfaction. I'd be lying if I said I understood their thought process. Regardless, I have to see this through. My reason is simple too. This is a fight that encompasses the very life of Odette Malikon. 30 minutes later, the fight shows no signs of ending. Neither have been able to land any significant blows, so I assume they're trying to wear out one another. Their intent is made clear by their each and every action. I can't seem to take my eyes off them, not even for a second. I have no interest in martial arts and stuff, but I guess I understand the appeal of competitive fighting if it's as entrancing as this. Ugh. Not only have they lost their guns, but now they have also destroyed them. How they managed that, I'll never know. I've handled one myself now, so now know precisely how sturdy they are. Both have blades of them too, but even those have been broken. Weapons seem almost useless though. Not a single bullet or knife wound has been inflicted on either of them. Both are sweating profusely. but they clearly have much more left in their tanks. Another 10 minutes pass. The exhaustion must have hit the both of them at the same time, judging by how the nature of the fight changes. They are now keeping their distance from one another, as opposed to constantly rushing in like before. Odette is the first to step in and attempt to drag the fight out of the stalemate it has reached. She must have put all of the major energy she recovered into her act. She launches a massive kick at him outside of his blocking range. He manages to avoid it, a bait barely, following that his fist contacts with Odette's face, or so it seems. She uses her forehead to take the brunt of his blow. His expression makes it clear that he's reeling from pain, which Odette takes advantage of by kneeling him straight in the solar plex. She keeps up a relentless assault following this, not allowing the opportunity to go to waste. Each blow is ferocious enough that I'd be knocked out cold after one hit, but he's taking every single one of them. He must have been biding his time while taking the hits, because he finds the right moment to claw at Odette's neck. Ugh. One can't build up muscle in their throats, so resulting damage is clear. She comes to a complete halt for a brief second, and now Alan launches his own attack. While Odette's assault was akin to Wild's beast, Alan's is more serene. There's a rhyme to it, almost like a dance. His moves are completely different from before. Not like Odette is simply allowing herself to be attacked either. She isn't dodging or blocking the incoming blows, she's biting at them. The more blood that flows, the harder and deeper she bites. Just as planned. The fight is far from over. Gosh. How many hours? The streets begin to empty out around 10 PM. Meanwhile, Naomi and Miharu are still waiting in front of the Linehouse for Rinka's return. It's far more humid at night during June than it is cold. There's no response from Rinka to any of the messages sent, and phone calls are met with a response that her phone is off.
いい加減帰ってもいいんだよ、羊さん。もっとも僕はリンカが心配だから帰りを待つけれどね。
It's getting late, so you should probably go home. Of course, I'm too worried to do that now.
大丈夫です。うまく言い訳しますから。
I'll make up a good excuse.
リンカ先輩のこと心配ですもん。
So it'll be fine. Don't forget I'm worried about her as well. Miharu silently nods in response.
リンカも大変だな。あれだけ自信満々にリンカを諭した僕に頼られてしまうのだからね。
Funny how I need to rely on Rinka after fervently persuading her that I could handle things on my own.
大変なんて思わないですよ、先輩は。
She won't mind, you know that. Miharu says nothing in return. She doesn't need to. Her gentle smile is more than enough to reassure Naomi. Nah, gentle smile. Factory. Things start to wrap up after another 30 minutes. Neither are moving as well as they were before. In fact, they're both so exhausted I might be able to outrun them. As if the fight wasn't spectacular enough already, it ends with a cross counter of all things. I can't tell if Alan is out cold or not. His eyes are completely blank. As for Odette, her eyes are closed, but she has a big grin on her face. I'd have to be happy if I got to go out like this. With that being said, she lets herself fall unconscious. Alan watches she does so. It's hard to tell what he's thinking. And then he collapses too. What? I rush over to them both. They're out cold, but they're still breathing. I guess exhaustion has finally forced their bodies to shut down. I'm not too sure if they've managed to settle things with this. But what I do know is that Alan was the last to fall unconscious. Odette lost. Still, there was nothing settled by this. They just pummeled each another until they passed out. I'd be the winner here I'd be the winner here were I to have a gun on me. But I mean, why did I need to be here? I probably had to tend to their wounds now that it's ended like this. Damn it, my phone battery's dead. I end up having to rely on my memory to find the nearest convenience store. Once I do, I grab a first aid kit, some food and some water to bring back. The journey there and back takes around an hour. Odette's gone by the time I get back. She must have left the moment she woke up, despite having no energy whatsoever. She's crazy. There's one thing I can say for sure though. That moment when she collapsed is probably the last time I'll ever see her in the real world. She really was a free spirit right to the end. Unlike Odette, someone else is still collapsed on the ground. Is he sleeping? Alan still hasn't come to. I should just go home. After I say that, I'll wipe off Alan's sweat and place a cooling pad on his forehead. Then I put another towel under his head as a makeshift pillow. This guy's just as crazy as Odette. His profuse sweating and bright red face worry me. I knew what he wants to get out of me, but I can't just bring myself to leave him in this state. Seeing him laid out like this makes him look younger than usual, probably due to his height and build while standing. I can't even tell the time, since my phone is dead. I can tell that I'm hungry though, so I make my way to a corner of the storehouse to eat the food I picked up. I wonder how people would react if they saw this. I take a moment to consider the fact that I've become anything but a normal person before chowing on my food. Yeah, disappearing off like that, for goodness sakes. Alan finds himself dreaming. It is the first time he's had a dream unrelated to the Court of Fate in a long time. You're always so reckless, you know that. It is a dream entwined within with his past, a past of great importance. Wonder. I'm Rita. Alan wakes up just as I finish my food. The fact he sits up so quickly surprises me a bit. I'm not quite sure what he was saying, but it sounded like he was calling out to someone. Of course, questioning him about it wouldn't be a smart decision, no.
Kimika.
Oh, it's you. He comes to grip with the situation after noticing the sheet on his forehead and towel under his head. You could have just left me here. I was going to leave after I finished eating. I meant long before that. I'll place my trash inside a convenience store plastic bag and then take a bottle of water over to Alan. Did I lose? You were the last to collapse, though only by a few seconds. I can hardly consider it a victory if I don't remember it. Saying that, he takes a deep swig of the water I just handed to him. When he stands up afterwards, it serves to remind me just how big he actually is. I'm not sure where to take this conversation now. After a bit of deliberation, I come up with a certain proposal. So hey, you tell me everything you found out about Scale Jones so far, and I'll tell you what's written on his regret card in exchange. There's no immediate response, so I can only assume that he's taken by surprise. It feels like the best option for me though, especially when Alan and Odette's conversation hinted toward Alan knowing plenty about Scale. I'm not sure if I'll end up electing him myself or not, but it's the fact that he'll come across my own information at some point. Knowing his cause of death will allow me to protect myself should he decide to elect me at the very least. That's why it's best if I get what I can out of Alan. Very well. Once Alan had finished telling me what he discovered about Scale, I revealed the contents of his regret card. Gold medal. I felt like there's something like links to his regret in the info Alan told me. No new cards seem to have formed on his end, but I'm sure he'll be able to put the pieces together quickly enough. Alright, I should go. Tomorrow's Sunday, but I'd rather open the store if I can. I'm a bit paranoid when my phone's dead, but right now the sheer exhaustion is my big issue. What is true strength? Excuse me? He doesn't respond, so I give up and leave. I'm about half an hour's walk from the closest station. The idea of having to walk the same path back already has me reeling. Okay. They're still there. It's 1 AM. Shinjuku may be a major step in Tokyo, but the last trains don't run much later than this. Meanwhile, Miharu noted Naomi is still waiting in front of a lighthouse for Rinka's return.
先輩戻ってこないですね。こうなると心配を通り越して
Don't say that in front of Miharu.
彼氏さんとかと一緒にいたりって考えちゃいます。
She's taking her time, isn't she? At this point, I'm more willing to consider that she may be out with a boyfriend or something.
今日は土曜日ですし、先輩にお付き合いしてる人がいるかどうかって聞いたことないですし。
It's Saturday after all, and I never did ask if she was dating anyone.
羊さん、
Naomi? Yes?
そのくだらない想像は今すぐやめてくれないかい？
Yeah, Miharu jealous. Do us both a favour and shut off the part of your brain that creates those ridiculous thoughts. Naomi feels a chill run down her spine. While it wasn't exactly a joke, she swears not to bring that topic up ever again.
しかし、これ以上遅くまでここにいると、やがて警官に声をかけられてしまうかもしれない。終電もなくなってしまったし、困ったものだ。
At this rate, we're going to have an officer or two questioning why we're here. I'm not quite sure what to do now that we've missed our last train. Granted...
日付で言う今夜に僕がこのまま死ぬのであれば、帰ろうが帰る前が、もうどちらでもいいね。
Granted, now that it's Sunday, it technically doesn't matter what I do if I'm going to be eliminated anyway.
あるいは、民家へ向けた遺書を書き始めた方がいいのかもしれない。
Perhaps I'm best off writing a will for Rinka. Miharu? Naomi fails to find a response to much how deadly serious Miharu seems. It doesn't help that she's responsible for the situation too. Miharu could have used the time to possibly find information about Scale had she not suggested relying on Rinka. Those memories may disappear should Miharu be eliminated though. Even if they don't vanish completely, they will become far too blurry to recall, more so than even her earliest childhood memories. This even applies to when the two of them let their feelings clash. The idea of losing that experience scares her.
大丈夫です。
Don't worry, I'm sure Rinka will be here. Naomi's voice is audibly quivering. Both know her faith is entirely unfounded.
君は泣き虫だな。その素直さは時折羨ましくもあるよ。
Really are a crybaby, aren't you? Still, I do feel envious about how honest you can be sometimes. Miharu feels a peace for reasons she cannot understand. If what she's currently feeling toward Naomi is similar to how Rinka feels, then she might just... What? The sudden voice takes Naomi and Miharu by surprise. Why are you two hanging around outside my house at this hour? Rinka? Naomi dashes over to Rinka without a second thought. What? Rather, she attempts to before tripping over her own feet.
それはこちらのセリフでもあるね。まさか男性といたということはないのだろう。
Now you have those thoughts as well, Miharu. Allow me to pose a similar question. You weren't engaged in certain activities with a man, were you?
途中まで男の人といたけど。なんで知ってるの？
Well, I guess I was with a guy for the most part. How'd you know? Huh?
とりあえずライオン館に入ろう。
Anyway,
二人とも私が来るのを待ってたってことだよね。
let's head inside. You two are really waiting for me. Naomi is obviously flustered, whereas Miharu looks like she's just seen a ghost, and Rinka has no idea what's going on, but she takes them inside the store anyway. Following that, it takes an entire hour for everything to be cleared up. Okay, so you went to see Odetti and the other girl.
ごきげんよう。運命の奴隷の皆様。
Good evening, my lovely little slaves to fate. Pastor's voice echoes throughout the court of fate once more. Tonight marks the 8th round of divine selection. Only 6 of the original 12 participants are left. 1, 2, 3, 9, 11 and 12. One is guaranteed to be eliminated tonight though. None other than Odetti, the very first person I have elected.
皆様、本日はおしゃべりなさらないのですわね。
Please,
私、退屈ですわよ。
please spare me from the boredom that accompanies your silence.
じゃあてめえが喋ってくれよ。 何か面白い話をな。
Guess it's on you then. Go on and tell us something real interesting.
面白いお話
Something
でご
interesting
ざい
you
ますか？
say. Yeah. Odette remains as calm as ever, even with her impending elimination. That really pees me off.
どうでもいいだろそんなのよ。早く指名に移ってくれ。
Who cares about that? Let's get electing already. My impatience gets the better of me, causing me to shout. All it does is cause Odette to flash me with a smug grin. That stupid face drives me mad.
あらあら、まるで早く指名したいとそういう風にお見受けされますわね。
Goodness gracious, someone sounds desperate to carry out the election, it seems. Ugh.
いいでしょう。それでは今宵も選定を始めますわ。
Very well, allow me to begin tonight's election. Parser makes her announcement loud and clear. She's doing this to show me up, too. Little brat thinks she's better just cause she's a goddess?
回りなさい。運命の大時計。
Revolve, O clock of fate. The standard election procedure follows. It's a sight I've gotten way too used to.
私は
Nothing from me. Numeria 1 passes. Next up is Miharu. Based on everything up until now, she'll pass. I'm the only one out of our license that'll be electing someone tonight after all.
僕は11番。
I'll elect
あなたを
Numeria
指名するよ。
11.
何？
What the hell? Ah,
承知いたしましたわ。
very well. What's going on there? I can't hold my panic over what just happened. Odette catches my eye in the midst of my breakdown. She's giving me the same smug-ass grin as always, almost like she knew things would play out like this. If Maharu's electing her, then I don't need to, right?
3番様はいかがなさいますか？
Numeral 3, make your intent clear.
よし。
I'll I cut myself off.
いや、俺も11番を指名だ。
Actually, I'll elect Numeral 11 as well. That was close. The shock almost made me forget that Odette has my information as well. Miharu gets her hands on that info as she eliminates Odette. Don't tell me that's her plan from the beginning.
何？
Huh? Doesn't sound like Scale expected this either, judging by his expression. Can't see him putting her up to this. There's nothing in it for him.
あら、重複してしまいましたわね。けれど、少々お待ちください。このまま時計の針が一周してからまたお伺いいたします。
I see we have our first duplicate in action of the night. Do wait until the clock makes its full revolution first. Scare's right after me now that we're down to so few people.
2番を指名だ。
I'll elect Numeral 2. What? He's electing someone else as well? Miharu of all people. He's smiling, but not that fake one he usually has. It looks like he's holding back a real wicked laugh. I can't believe this. I never trusted them in the first place, but I never expected them to pull this stunt. Numeral 1 doesn't seem the least bit concerned about Miharu being elected either. Guess they really did part ways.
受けたまわりました。
Very well.
お後は11番様は
What
ど
about
うなさいますか？
what about you, Numeral 11?
私はなしだ。分かってんだろ？
Nothing from me. You already knew that, didn't you?
私はあくまで選定の管理者。あなた様の本来の運命は見えていても、これから待ち受ける可能性はわかりませんわ。
My role is merely that of a supervisor. I may know what awaits you in your original face, but the possibilities that stem from here are a mystery even to me.
ごたくはいいんだ。
Like I care. Parser pouts at Odette before directing her attention to Alan.
僕も指名は
I will pass.
しない。
それではまずは2番様と3番様の指名の重複について
Let us
対応いたします。
let us begin with Numeral 2 and Numeral 3's duplicate election then.
ご自分のカードを1枚オープンにすることで指名の優先権を取得することができますわ。
Whoever reveals
いかが
one
なさいますか？
whoever reveals one card will earn election priority. Will either of you do so?
俺は自分の指名をオープンにするぜ。
I'll
これで
reveal
優先権は俺のものだ。
I'll reveal my name card. Give me priority. Everyone here knows my name, so it's no big deal.
待ってくれ。優先権を取得する意思確認は番号の若い僕からするものではないのかい？
Wait a minute. Surely I'm supposed to reply first, given that I have a lower numerical than you.
僕も優先権を取得させていただくよ。今度は死因。
Following that
その
logic.
カードをオープンにするさ。
Oh, you reveal your cause of death card.
承知いたしましたわ。 これでお互いに1枚ずつカード
Understood.
公開の意思を
Both
お
of
見せ
you
い
are
ただ
willing
きました。
both of you are willing to reveal a card then.
僕はこれ以上カードを見せることはしないさ。
One
どう
is
するんだい？
plenty.
3番さん。
But will you go beyond that numerical 3?
てめえ
You little... I glare at Odette. She isn't laughing anymore. She looks like a wild beast now. Her sight is fixed square on me, like I'm the prey. Even now, this might be the first time she's ever looked at me like this. What'll happen if the election gets cancelled? I can elect her next week, but then I'll need to reveal another card if she opts to protect herself. Even if I don't elect her, she'll just elect me instead. Even worse, she hasn't revealed a single card of her own. That means she'll break right through my own protective measures. If we both elect each other, then we'll get eliminated together.
3番様も指名はなしでよろしいでしょうか。
Will you pass numerical 3? Parser poses a question with a smirk. I ain't got the time to think about how to make it through divine selection anymore. I'll never surpass Odette if I back down here. This is my best chance to put her to sleep once and for all. As long as I can beat her down, then...
待て。
Hold up. Thing is, Odette should have all 3 of my cards. She can still protect herself if I go ahead with this. Then I'd have to reveal my regret as well. I stay quiet. My brain starts to process thoughts at a rate I've never experienced. I've been with her long enough to know that she wouldn't just take an election from me lying down. She isn't next to me because she can't. She made it seem like she knew my regret, but that was a bluff. Which means there's only only one thing left to do.
俺の死因もくれてやる。だから俺に、あいつを倒す権利をくれ。
I'll give you my cause of death too, so give me the right to take her down once and for all.
承りましたわ。
Understood.
それではこれより3番様による11番様の指名を行いますわ。
Frederico, I like what you're doing. You are preserving Miharu's life. Allow me to begin the election procedure. What? Haha, the sudden shaking takes me by surprise. My platform begins to rise above the court. It takes me to the upper stratum, which looks limitless.
ほとんど変わらないんだ。
Doesn't look much different than below. Odette told me about the upper stratum before, but it really isn't that different from below. All that's changed is only me and Odette are here now, standing opposite one another. Just the 2 of us rising together.
まさかてめえに指名されちまうとはな。
Funny how you're the one who ends up electing me in the end.
強がりのつもりか。少しはビビってみせろよ。これから死ぬんだぜ、あんたは。
Trying to put on a brave face, huh? Show me some fear. You're about to die, so I won't judge you.
何を言ってる。私もてめえももともとすでに死んじまってるんじゃねえか。
Correct. Frederico just revealed 2 of his cards. You're really that dumb? We're both dead already.
怖がることなんてありはしないさ。ゲームに負けちまって悔しいな。その程度だ。
Ain't nothing to be scared of. If anything, I'm just a bit upset that I lost the game.
最後だから言っておくぜ。てめえと駆け回るのは退屈はしなかったさ。まあ、どちらかといえば楽しい日々だった。
This is the end for me. So I'll be honest, kicking around with you wasn't so bad. In fact, I had some good fun. Odette sounds solemn as she says this.
楽しいか、そうじゃないかの二択なら。楽しい方に傾くよ。
I'd say I had some fun too. Sharing wine with you wasn't so bad.
てめえ、何釣られてやがるんだ。とにゃめえな。裏切りなんて向いてねえんだよ。いや、最後にしんみりとしたフェデリーコ君っていう面白いもんを見させてもらった。
Frederico the dumbass falls for it again. You sure ain't fit to betray anyone. You know that? But hey, thanks for showing me that sincere side of yours before I gotta go.
の野郎
God damn it.
あらあら、仲良しさんですわね。
Well, well, you two certainly get along.
どこから
God, where'd you come from? I completely forgot about Pasta thanks to Odetti.
女神の選定では皆様、因果の時という運命の糸でつながっています。
The juncture of causality serves as divine selections take hold or take on the tread of fate by which you are all bound.
これまでも今までの選定の際もあなた方のように仲良しさんたちはいらっしゃいました。
There have been and will be plenty of people like you two, those who get along so well.
私、その瞬間を見るのがとても心地よいのですわ。
Moments like this bring me great comfort.
いい趣味してるな。
You've got issues.
ありがとうございますわ。
I would take that as a compliment.
勘違いするな。俺たちは別に仲良しなんかじゃねえ。利害関係で繋がっていて、旨味がなくなったからこいつを脱落させるってだけだ。
Don't get the wrong idea. We ain't friends or nothing. We were just using each other. I'm eliminating her now because she's got nothing else of value for me.
あらあら、素直じゃありませんね。
Oh dear. You could do with being more honest.
うるせえいいから、とっとと指名させてくれ。
Shut it. Just let me elect her already.
そうですわね。今宵はもう一組指名がございますし、
Very
あまり
well.
時間をかけてもいられませんね。
We can't afford to waste time with a second group waiting. My card bit starts to glow as she says that. All my cards pop out and start floating in front of me. Odetti told me how the election process works, so don't hesitate. All I need to do is pick out her 3 cards.
指名オデット・マランソン。
Her name was Odetti Malenkon.
最後にてめえに一つ聞いておきたいことがある。
Let me ask you something before you're done with me.
死因足
She was crushed to death and died of blood loss.
私はよ、人生を楽しむために生きてきた。てめえは何のために生きたいんだ。
My goal in life was to enjoy it to the fullest. So let me ask, what's your goal? Why do you want to live through this so bad? Her question causes me to stop for a moment. It doesn't take long for me to answer though.
生きるのに理由なんていらないだろ。
No one needs a reason to live.
そうね。てめえも案外履き違えちゃいないってわけだ。
That's so? Surprise, surprise. Guess that means you've got the right idea as well.
ざれ事だな。しく
It ain't you to spout such nonsense.
未練出産
Her regret was being unable to do that. All 3 cards float away from me once I pick them out. This again. Once they reach the middle of the court of fate, they come together and form a triangular shape. The light surrounding them gets bigger and bigger until it eventually envelops the whole area. As for Odetti, she looks more at peace than I've ever seen her before. Damn it all! She's not giving you the satisfaction that you want. Frederico. I find myself on a ship under attack. A bunch of old-fashioned pirates were responsible. The ship was packed to the brim with weapons and illegally obtained jewels and stuff, so they were probably here for them. Of course, this shipping company would never lose to a single boat, not with Odetti Malenkon at the helm. Things were different this time around, though. Not only were the pirates working together with a group she wasn't on good terms with, but they planned on sinking the ship and killing everyone on board too. There were no way out when you were surrounded by 8 ships. All of Odetti's crewmen were dead, of course. They took plenty of the pirate crew down with them. The ship itself looked like hell on earth. There just happened to be a man from Italian Mafia on board too. Odetti was aware of that and the fact that he was currently on the run. Just then, a massive shock rocked the ship. It began to break apart due to the damage it had received. Odetti judged others based on their skill of the high seas. To that effort, the Mafioso was nothing more than your average Joe. Part of the decking that had broken off was launched right at him. And it was none other than Odetti who used her body as a shield. That was a fact that she would never admit to. Even if she survived, she would just chalk it up to coincidence. The undeniable truth, however, was that Odetti used her body to protect the Mafioso. The ship jolted violently afterwards before it broke completely apart. Both Odetti and the mafioso were crushed by the wreckage. Eek. Interesting. You gotta be kidding me. I found myself clutching my chest when I regained consciousness. My heart's throbbing like mad. I'm sweating buckets despite it only being a dream. I saw the exact moment of Odette's death. I can't believe it. She protected me? My eyes feel dry all of a sudden. The sheer shame I feel takes me over. Huh? Parser appears once more, chuckling in a manner similar to Miharu. She tells me all the cards Odetti has in her possession and gives me the option to pick one. No way. All 3 of my cards are included in that list. She could have protected herself at any moment. Do give her some proper thought. My platform begins to descend as Parser's voice fades. The movement doesn't take me by surprise this time because I'm so preoccupied by everything that's just happened. Numero 2's cause of death will do. How ironic that a card I pick up is the one Miharu is going to reveal anyway. Doesn't matter to me anymore though. Odetti gave her life to protect me. She even had all my cards at her disposal, yet she never tried to block my election, and I'll never be able to find out why. I'm the one who eliminated her, but... Sheesh. Damn it all! I try to kick the stand in front of me, but I just fall over myself without making any contact. I'm afraid there's no point in trying to damage something in the dream world. Parser has returned to the lower stratum at some point, speaks to me with a grin. She really annoys me. Everything annoys me. Allow me to take the cards you opted to reveal first. Parser takes 2 cards from me and 1 card from Miharu. The participants' card books begin to glow except for mine. I got Miharu's card when I eliminated Odetti, so there's no reason for mine to react. Damn it. I doubt anyone could hear me at this point. My emotions are shot, and they're falling deeper and deeper down this bottomless world. After Frederico has his election, it is Miharu's turn to be elected by scale. I am honestly a bit worried at first, but Miharu comes back safe and sound. Finding her and Naomi outside Linehouse on Saturday night took me by surprise. After hearing what they had to say, I was so glad that I both made my way back home and found the courage to negotiate with Alan. We spent all of Sunday tracking down the info pertaining to Scale's cause of death and regret. It shouldn't have been too hard because we already knew the information on the cards themselves, but it still took almost a day. I doubt I would have been able to manage it without Miharu and Naomi's help. They should be both sleeping beside me in the real world right now. I could have elected him myself, but I didn't because it would risk Miharu losing her own means of protection, and in turn increase the risk of other participants getting a hold of more information, but it remained the safest option. Goodness gracious, things have certainly gotten messy here. Not that you particularly care, do you? I sure got served. Damn it. Unfortunately, I have to agree with Parser's settlement. My heart is racing. It's entirely possible I could have lost Miharu if Scale did something crazy, and that's the last thing I want. Tonight's session resulted in 1 elimination. I bid you all farewell for now. Divine selection ends with Parser's farewell. My consciousness makes its way back to my body in the real world. But I don't go back empty-headed. It's nothing but a simple idea for now, but a certain possibility has made itself known to me. 8th week progressed. Alan. Well played, Odetti Malenkon. And that's where we can leave it, folks, because this has gone on for far too long for me, for goodness sake. So, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we shall see each other next time of this wonderful game of Fatal 12. Only 5 remaining. And the 5 are... Rinka, Miharu, Scale, Frederico, and Alan. Who knows who's going to be elected next, but one thing's for certain, this is going to be the 5th finale. Have a good day and take care of yourselves.